And guess who's here? 24 hours late. I hope you guys saw my messages I posted on Twitter today and on the community space here on YouTube. I tell you, everything conspired against me yesterday. There was just nothing good coming out of that whole thing. It was dark. My phone battery was dead. The whole power was out for the whole neighborhood because somebody don't know how to drive in the rain because we've been having rainstorms here in the Bay Area. And I'm just sitting here like, what am I going to do? I didn't even have a way to tell you guys what was going on. So this is the end result. So we're gonna do what was supposed to be on yesterday, today. So what we're going to be talking about here on the Debsterism show, what would normally have been Tough Topic Thursday, we're going to be discussing dads and daughters. And I think this is an especially important topic. Hi, everybody, because a girl's relationship with her father forms pretty much every it's just like an overwhelming part of who she is as a woman. And without that strong foundation, girls go awry. I think in some instances, they're even worse off than a guy with a male child with no father. It's just horrible. And not to mention, if you do have a father and the daddy's a knucklehead or abusive or a predator, there's different issues at work here, but every single way imaginable, a father has an impact on a daughter's life and who she is and who she becomes as a woman. So you guys who are at, still childbearing ages and you looking at having babies and whatnot, you really, I mean, really have to pay more attention to who you are allowing to father your children. This is mandatory. I just cannot stress this enough. In addition to all the other things that we talked about, I'm going to be running through some things that I think are important for you to know. It might help you understand not only yourself, which is, what we try to do here. We try to get people to understand why they make the decisions that they make, the choices that they make, and behave the way that they do. This is all about you on this channel. But I think, kind of reflecting on where you came from and where you want to go and the possible stumbling blocks to getting you there as it relates to your relationship with your father or lack thereof, it might really help a lot of you understand where you went wrong, why you took that left turn, and what you need to do to get back on track. That's my hope. So when we look at this thing, we thought, you think about, and again, those of you who were here waiting so patiently yesterday, thank you so much. It was so cute to see everybody was so worried about me. Shit, I was worried about myself because it was cold. It's winter time. Shit was cold in this house and had no heat. Me and my daughter sit up there with sweatpants on and stuff, just waiting for the heat to come on. And I told her, "Don't you dare open the refrigerator," because I didn't know how long it was gonna be out, and so I didn't want any of my food to spoil and stuff. I was like, "No, you ain't touching that." So it was just kind of interesting. Oh, good. Now we have twin hairstyle. So what I'm going to start the show by saying, reflecting on a phrase that's very common, and that is a dad, a father is a little boy's first hero, and a father's also a little girl's first love. And when you think about what that means, her first love, what goes into that? I mean, we all like to, reflect on our first loves that we had when we were teenagers, whatever. But really, your first love is your daddy. Now, what happens if your first love, your daddy's not there, or your daddy's a rogue misfit, or your daddy's violent? You observe him, pounding on your mother, or he pounds on you and the other children, or he molests you and the other children. He doesn't work. I mean, this kind of versus, and just suppose that against a father who's always there for you, who's kind and considerate and who really listens to you, who is supportive and encouraging. and you see him treat your mother with great respect even when he's upset at her. These kind of things, we're talking about, I'm just going opposite ends of the spectrum just to make a point here. These kind of things affect children greatly. They will definitely affect your girls, because you're looking at how your dad teaches treats your mama is how you're going to expect men to treat you. Did you ever really think about that? And how your father treats you is how you're going to expect other men to treat you as well. So if he treats you very poorly, your expectations of men in your life are not going to be very high. And if your dad is not there at all, your expectations of men are going to be really confusing to you. You're going to be lost and you're not going to really know what to look for. And a lot of guys look for girls like that because they know that you're hungry for that kind of male validation and acknowledgement, and they use the promise of this unconditional love that you're seeking to manipulate and coerce you into sexual activity. So the girls do it because they're looking for this love. They think that him, someone holding them and listening to them and all of that stuff is the kind of love that they should have got from their father. And they're thinking that this guy's filling in that void, and he's really not. So let me take a look at my little notes. Okay, so what I want to do is specifically address these 5 key points. Point one: the significant benefits for daughters as well as for fathers to a girl's physical, psychological, and social health when the father and daughter have a close, nurturing, and supportive relationship. Okay, point number two: the influences that fathers have on the formation of their daughter's views about her own self image, her sexuality, her value to not only herself but to other men, how she forms relationships, and the confidence that she has and ability to steer the course of her life. What that means is she's not looking for other people to tell her what to do or approval seeking to the point where she gets lost and turns away from who herself and what she wants in order to please other people. Now, we have addressed this in several different videos. I will try to remember to put what you call it, a video link thing right up there for some of them, so that you can click on them and see the videos that reference approval seeking behavior and self sacrifice. That's very important. And the influence of the dad in this situation, that and what forms in the girl, can be either very negative or very positive based upon the dad's influence. Point three: how every future romantic relationship that that daughter has will be influenced positively or negatively by the way she interacts with and perceives her father. Okay? Interacts with and perceives. Now, if your daddy is MIA, you ain't interacting with him and your perception is very negative. What do you think that might do to a girl? Yeah, I'm throwing out questions. We're going to be going through this as the show moves on. Um, what we have studies have proven rather that this influence of a father will have a great impact on the girl. It's going to impact who she dates. It's going to impact when she starts having sex. It's going to impact the overall quality of the relationships that she has with men. Okay, this is very, very important. And then the final one, oh no, it's not. This is point number 4. What your father did or did not tell you about love, life, and other men will either set you up for success or will set you up for failure and struggle. And we'll have to figure out everything you own on your own, instead of having a resource in your head of things that he's told you that you can pull from and protect yourself as you navigate through life and relationships. I think that's one reason why so many young girls like this channel, because when I'm talking, a lot of the time I'm sharing information that was provided to me by my grandfather, my daddy, my older brothers, and my uncles. So the stuff I'm telling you, is stuff that they told me. So a lot of young girls who didn't have their dad around, or he was a knucklehead, didn't want to tell them shit, they can hear the voice of wise men through me. and nobody's trying to like use you or coerce you into anything or take advantage of you or manipulate you or anything. I'm just sharing because I think it's stuff that you need to know. It's valuable information. And the fifth point that we're going to try, I'm going to try to fit all of this in tonight. I hope we can do it. How a father's relationship with the daughter's mama also impacts her view of herself and men. And I alluded to that a little earlier because you got your daddy who calls your mother every kind of name and wants to pummel on her and treat her real bad and call her names and tell her she's not stupid and she ain't nothing. And you know what I'm talking about. Okay, your little girl is observing that. What typically happens is she finds a situation where that behavior is replicated in her relationship, and the sons tend to take after the father because they see that as the powerful position. They don't want to be the one getting beat, so they be the one that's doing the beating. She says her dad was a mixture of all the videos I produced. Damn. How is that even possible? Dude must be like carrying a heavy, heavy load. Okay, so what you need to know is I wanted to make sure that I had some real life examples of those 5 points that I just went over. So I went, to my Facebook page, as I usually do. I also posted it here on YouTube on the community wall. And I asked 3 questions of daughters and 3 questions of fathers. Each of them was instructed to only answer the questions that pertain to them. So for the men, I asked, let me see, because I printed it out right here. The men I asked, uh, please, no, well, I asked everybody to set out whether you are a dad or a daughter. Okay, so once they did that, is that if you're a daughter, skip the first 3 questions, go to, the final 3 because those are for the girls. So the dad says, question is number 1. Please set out up to 10 things that you told your daughter about men in life to protect and guide her path. Okay, wasn't that a good question? Question number 2, directed to dads. Please set out up to 10 things that you wish you had told your daughter about men in life, but you did not. You see now that it might have made things a lot different for her. What were those things? And then the third question for the fathers, please share the logic slash reasons and the goal you had for telling your daughter the things you did or your reasons that you did not share with her at an earlier stage of life. Because a lot of times, they'll get courage and they'll tell you some shit when it's like you 40 years old. Okay, well, I don't need to hear the shit now. I done already been through all of the stress, strife, and drama and struggle. And now here you come trying to be all late with the news. I don't want to hear that. Okay, so then we flip to the daughters, and that's what I'm going to concentrate on because for one sad reason. Even though I emailed this and I put this out on the web, women were posting it on their walls. The number of men who responded was very small, the number of fathers. And then one woman told me, well, they probably because they looked at those questions and realized they didn't tell their daughter shit and they didn't show her any examples and they were embarrassed and so they didn't want to, respond to the survey. And I'm like, oh, she's probably right. But so very, very few dads responded, but I will share with you what they said. Most of the responses, like I said, came from the daughters. So the daughters were asked, please set out up to 10 things that your dad instructed you about concerning men, love, and life in general. I also asked them to set out up to 10 things that they wish their father had told them. And then the third question directed to daughters was please share how what your dad told you helped make your life different. If he neglected to share information with you, what would you have found valuable? Please share how you believe your life would have been made different with this fatherly guidance that you failed to receive. Okay, so those are the 3 questions that I asked the men. And I'll go over some of those. Look at this big old stack. I printed them all out. Uh, I just want you to see the thickness here. As you see, I didn't even get to go through all of them, but those little color clips represent some of the responses to question number 3 for the daughters that I want to read on the air. There are probably some other really good ones in here too, but I didn't have time to go through them. It was so many. All right, so those are the questions. Now, what I want to talk about first is since fathers set the standard, right? They set the standards for how uh, a man is, how the girl rolls through her life with regards to men and her opinion of herself. Do you think that the fact that there's so many, this a low number of active, positive black male fathers in the black community, how might that impact black women differently than other races of women? So you guys can talk about that in the chat. I'll be looking at it. So this is the question. With the very low number of positive black male fathers in the black community, I'm not saying there's none. I'm just saying the number is scarily low. Okay, so before anybody gets in their feelings, well, my daddy just, okay, we ain't talking about your daddy. Your daddy ain't part of this conversation. He's part of the part later. Right now, we're talking about the ones who did not participate well in their daughter's life, or were very inconsistent, or they were a negative influence in their daughter's life. How do you think that impacts the girls in the black community? I'm talking right now about black females only. Okay. What kind of way does that help her set standards in her life? Do you think that has any impact on the reason why there are so many broken and insecure young women in the dating pool? You know, you got these daddies who are broken men themselves. They're flaky, they're irresponsible, they abandon their daughters. So, what do you think that makes the girls feel like? And how are they going to go through life trying to pick a solid man and recognize a good, healthy relationship with that kind of baggage on their back? You know, I thought, this is kind of interesting. So then I was looking at, I'm doing my little stuff. And so the significant benefits for daughters as well as dads to a girl's physical, psychological, and social health when the father and daughter have a close and nurturing relationship. So I wanted to list them for you. This is when the father's a decent dude. Okay, how does this help his daughter? Now, if he rejects and ignores her, then she's going to spend her life trying to replace him, right? She's going to spend her life trying to struggle to make that relationship right. It's a psychological thing that that human beings do. But if the dad is warm and nurturing, she's going to look for a mate that's going to make her feel that same way. And she will be very quick to reject someone who does not. So these guys, a lot of them crying that women don't want them, you might be because you were meeting with a woman who had a good daddy in her life. And so she's not feeling your behavior at all. You're not acting right. And so you get the flick and you get up on out of her world. Now, if the dad thinks that his daughter is worthy and he tells her that she's pretty and he tells her that she's smart and that she can do anything, your daughter is going to be inclined to see herself that same way because you're her first love. So everything that you say to her has the weight of 10 people. That's very important. I think a lot of dads don't understand that. If you tell your daughter that she's stupid, that she's ugly, and that you never wanted her, likewise, that is going to impact her very heavily because, again, that's the words, the weight of 10 people telling her that. Why would you talk to your child like that? What is it that you hope to do in a positive way or in any way that makes any sense to talk to a child like that? See, I don't, sometimes I have to do these videos and pull people, make people aware of what they're doing because the people just do stupid shit and they don't even think about why they're doing it. They don't think about what they're saying. They don't think about the impact on the person who's hearing it. These are little kids. Why would you talk to them like that? What the fuck are you doing? You're breaking their spirits before they even get a chance to know that they have one. Oh my God. So Van says, you think black females feed off of other females in their support of bad thinking, which becomes the norm since they don't understand men. Well, that's very true. Because, if you have a situation where, you've been told, because I've run into this, myself, you got information that comes straight from men's mouths about how they are. Okay, these women who weren't around men have a fantasy vision of how men are. So when you tell them, well, men are really like this, and that's not their fantasy, they want to argue and fight with you about it. And they would rather spread that other stuff to other women who don't know rather than listen to the actual words that men have to say about how they really are. And most men will admit they ain't about shit. They say it, but they know that you ain't gonna pay no attention because you're gonna think that your love is so special, and that you could, change them. That you could he's gonna be your project. You're gonna mold him into a better man through your love. Oh, somebody recently said her parents have been married for 40 years. Girl, can you imagine looking at the same face for that long? That's just so hard for me to imagine. I'm telling you, I have dating ADHD. I need a new face. Woo! All right. So now, if your dad is involved with your daughter, you helping her with her homework, you're there for her consistently, you go places together, you eat meals together, you talk, you laugh, her behavior, your behavior rather, is statistically associated with producing very positive results in your daughter. Fewer behavioral problems with girls who have that kind of father in their life, higher levels of confidence, and they perform better academically. Okay, that's very important. When a dad is actively involved and interested in his daughter's life, you participate in her sports and her hobbies. You be her biggest fan and supporter. You go to her games. You yell and scream in the stands. I don't know, whatever fans you help her practice. I remember seeing a video of a dad whose daughter, who looked like she was about 8 years old, practicing for some little cheerleading thing, and her daddy was out there with the pom poms with her, doing the whole routine with her. See, that's what I'm talking about. Show your daughter support, and don't ever laugh at her dreams. The little girl was so cute with her little pom poms and her little uniform, jumping around, trying to be the little cheerleader for the little league team. And I thought it was very cute that he was, helping her and not being embarrassed and talking about, well, that's all, that's girl stuff. Your mama need to do it, and all this stuff, which kind of, it makes her feel small and crushed. Instead of him saying, you can do this, you got this, let me help you be a winner, let me help you get on this team, daddy will help you, daddy got your back. That's what girls are looking for. Your daughter's father was always a great and powerful influence on her. Her husband is the same way. 16 years together. Yep. I mean, it's like it forms a certain expectation in a daughter. And what you can see as we go through life and we go through these relationship videos and run across people online, there's more and more uh, young women being raised without a father, same with the boys. And you can see how vulnerable the young women are who don't have that kind of positive male influence. They're very open and very anxious. They listen to everything a man, some dude rolling up to them that he says. For them, it's like the gospel. And it's like because they never had a dad who was there for them consistently, so they're suck, latching onto these people, hoping that this man can fill that void, that this man's gonna be consistent, that this man is someone that they can trust, that this man's word is his bond, that this man will be there and won't abandon them in their time of need. They have that hope, and they take it from man to man to man because they don't know what to look for to discern if he really has those two qualities or not, because they daddy didn't teach it to them. It's really sad. So your daughter was lucky that she had a dad like that. You want a man in your life. You want your daughter's father, whether you married to his ass or not, to serve as a positive role hood of manhood. And if you are married to him, you want him to be a positive role model of what a husband and father is supposed to be. That means you don't be dipping your dick in other women coming home with babies. How you think that makes your daughter feel? Not just your wife, your daughter. You were her first love, remember? You your son's hero, remember? And this is how you do. This how you do to people that have that kind of faith in you. You a ain't shit motherfucker. And it's like, these men, I was like, what do they be thinking about? How can you disappoint your children like that? How can you show, even though I'm an advocate of fathers being humble and showing their kids that they can make mistakes, that's not the kind of mistake I'm talking about, because that was an act of choice. That was not a mistake. A mistake is me misreading some directions and putting the bookshelf up together backwards. Okay, that's a mistake. A mistake is reading the instructions for the recipe that you cooked and the dinner is too salty or too sweet or too something, and then you sit there and everybody's looking crazy, then you order a pizza. Okay, that's the mistake. When you take your wedding vows or you make a commitment to a woman and then you take your narrow ass on somewhere else and fucking around with some other woman, see, that's not a man. That's just somebody who's a jokester. And you have your daughter looking at you as an example of manhood. What kind of man are you modeling for her? What kind of man is she going to align herself with because of your sorry, trifling, cheating, lying ass? This is just sad. It's just really sad. Well, honey, and wait till I get them. I'm only in the still. I'm still in the introduction. I haven't even made it to the survey results yet because I wanted to tell you, my thoughts about what made me want to do this show. So that's what I'm going over. There's just two these men. It's just all the advice letters that have been coming in lately. These dads ain't shit, and it's like I want you. You young ladies hearing this to really think about what I'm saying here. You have a chance to make your child's life different. Just because your mother made a mistake and had you by some knucklehead ass weasel, you don't have to do the same. Just because you wanted hungered for this kind of affection and attention and stuff, and you got it from whoever was going to give it to you, so you ended up being a rather promiscuous young lady seeking this love from a father that these older men was trying to fake to give you. You can recognize what was going on in your head now and make sure that your daughter has a daddy who's not like that. Okay, you gotta make some changes. You gotta let this bad juju end with you. Okay, you recognize what's going on and why you're behaving the way that you are, why you make the decisions that you make, why you choose the people to get involved with that you choose. You have to get into your head. This is a mature thing to do. Don't just go through life all willy nilly reacting to shit emotionally. You have to figure out why your emotions are leading you down the wrong path. Yeah, I'm with you, girl, Van. This might have to be a part two because if I had been able to do the show last night as I planned. Thank you. Um, this could have been part two tonight because this is a lot of stuff. I might have to just do the rest on the weekend because there's just so much ground to cover. And I know people are going to hear this. There's a lot of information I'm going to be giving you. You're going to need time to absorb it. And then people will have to probably go back and listen to the video again, make notes and then think about some of these questions that I'm asking you to think about, you know. Yeah, a lot of dads say hurtful things. You know, he would say, "You're a prostitute." See, no, he would have had to die. You say some crazy, fucked up shit to my child. Mm-mm. Yeah, Gypsy, more and more women are going that way because it's like it's just so much drama and pain and, even death coming with dealing with these dudes. Um, did you hear about the case just the other day? The woman, her boyfriend shot her in the house. The kid was upstairs sleeping. And she had a home surveillance video. So the whole murder was caught on video. And he grabbed her. He pinned her against the wall. Now, this is a big ass man, okay? An angry man. So you know how much brute strength he has. He pins her into the corner of a wall, puts a gun to her head, and shoots her. Okay, she drops to the floor instantly, so she's already dead. And stands up her body and shoots her a couple more times, and then walks out the door like nothing happened. All this shit is on video. This keeps happening to black women. So, I have this saying that the most dangerous place for a black woman is in a relationship with a black man. I'm not seeing anything yet to change my mind. If anything, it's becoming more and more prevalent. They get mad, so you got to die. I mean, they're killing white women, they're killing kids, they're killing the mother-in-laws, the grandmothers, everybody. They don't give a fuck. So there's something seriously wrong. So this thing about who you have kids by, and come to find out that this man had a long prison record and all this kind of stuff. So see what I mean? This young lady who chose this man to have a child with was on some low self-esteem, now I don't value myself kind of thing. To choose, and he looked like a gorilla. Okay, dude was not cute at all. And so, I'm looking at that, and it was just breaking my heart. So this is while I was preparing this show. This was yesterday. And so, it's just like a perfect example of why you have to be more careful about who you allow to have yourself to be impregnated by, and stop being fucking afraid of getting a damn abortion. I'm trying to tell you, it might save your life. Okay, and you already got a kid or two, because this woman already had two kids, and then they had one together. So now all three of them children don't have no mama, and the baby don't have no daddy either, because daddy going to prison for the rest of his life. But I mean, why would you want to reproduce the genes of someone who is a lifetime criminal and a thug? I mean, this dude seriously was a thug. Just a long history of prison, criminal activity, drug dealing. I mean, in and out of jail. I mean, there's no way I would. You can't even breathe the same air I'm breathing. Get away from me. But for somehow she thought this he was okay to date, and I'm just really upset about that. Yeah, it is touching my soul. It's just something that really, I think this is at the core. I'm a firm believer in the bottom line for stuff. I bottom line everything because I don't want to use a whole bunch of extraneous words. Like I've told you several times, the most talking that I do in my life lately is on YouTube. Other than that, I'm in my head. I'm thinking, I'm reading books. I'm, reading stuff online. I'm learning. That's what I like to do, learn. And so I'm constantly teaching myself stuff or researching stuff just for out of curiosity. That's why I have so much information in my head. When you ask me a question, I can pretty much answer pretty much any question. But this is bothering me a lot. This is bothering me a lot. And I keep reading about this all over the country. Well, actually all over the world. But it's just becoming so prevalent, and the vast numbers of men who are doing this to women, especially women of color, is scary. It's scary. So y'all, just because you like them, they hot and they sexy, something make your birth control game tight. Because once you have their kids, then they feel like they have the right to go in and out your life. May not be paying no child support or doing nothing positive for the child, but he gonna be fucking with you just because he can. That is an abusive man's tactic. So don't have children by these knuckleheads. You ain't married, your ass don't have shit. Okay, it's bad enough when you get a divorce from them. They act stupid and want to kill you, or when you're even married to him. But you just a baby daddy. He don't, and especially somebody like that. She should have never had a baby by that fool ever. She shouldn't even have talked to him. But to sit up there, and have his kid, and then now she's dead because of it. That hurt. That really bothered me. Okay, now let's move on to my next issue that I was wanting to cover on this show. Um, what daughters need from their fathers? What do daughters need that a lot of them didn't get? Basically, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to do this last. I'm going to do this last. I want to go over these girls' letters first. Some of the stuff that they said. I'm scared to unclamp this because it's not, I should have put it in a binder or something. Oh, we'll take my chances. All right. So this is from a dad. 10 things he told his daughter about men and life. Don't allow a man to disrespect you. He heard you the first time, and his failure to change demonstrates that he has a lack of respect for you. Even though a man may be aware that his behavior is wrong, he will continue to take advantage of you if you let him. How many of you do that? As we go through this, remember, these are things, I'm going to read you some things that the dads had to say first, because there's not that many of them. And then I'm going to read you what the daughters wished that their fathers had taught them. That's what we're going to do in that order, because there's just too many of these. I can't do all of them. Okay. Number 2, date a man with integrity. Someone who will be a husband, a provider, and an amazing father. Number 3, date with a purpose. Always keep your priorities and what you want for your future in mind. Number 4, pay attention to red flags. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Number 5, don't let a man pressure you into sex or anything that you're uncomfortable with. Sex will always be around. There is no rush. Number 6, what one man won't do, another will gladly. Don't ever lower your standards. Now keep in mind, this is a dad to his daughter, okay? Why do more men not tell their daughter these things? Thank you. Who is this? Oh, Van, you tell me to drink some. She can tell I'm getting stressed. I know, this just breaks my heart when you think of all the young ladies suffering because of their raggedy ass daddies that ain't shit. Just get on my fucking nerves. All right, number seven, know your needs and wants within a relationship. How many times do I tell you guys that? Know what you need and stay on your program. I must have said that 5 million times. You got to do what was right for you. Don't compromise them for anyone. There's someone out there who will be able to abide by your standards. Number eight, pay attention to how a dude treats his mama. Number nine, pay attention to how he acts on the first date. Does he open the door for you? Is he respectful? Are you compatible? And number 10, don't settle for a man or a relationship that you don't really want. And there is no truer statement than that because, honey, yeah, I'm telling you, even when you're married to the man that you love so much you can't hardly see, just thinking about him makes you just get choked up. You just will just love me. The ground he walks on, you just want to touch it. That's how much you love that motherfucker. But there's gonna be them days. There's gonna be them days when he that finds that last nerve, the one that you had in the closet in the safe in the back, and he's gonna find it, and he's gonna open that safe, and he's gonna be like, "Oh look, she's got one nerve left that I haven't got on," and then he's gonna pluck it out that safe, and he's gonna throw ding, 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 and he's gonna mash it to smithereens, and you're gonna hate every bone in his body. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. So that's why the daddy was like, you really better love him because, excuse me, otherwise you're going to have a problem. All right. And so then let me move on to what the daughters had to say. No, I don't want to do daughters yet. Let me put daughters separate. I need a bigger desk. I need one with a little return on it. That's what I need. Okay, this is another daughter. Another daughter. I'm looking for where the daddy's at. I want to read some. Oh, here's one. I am a dad. Okay, let's see what this dad had to say. He said, under the thing of 10 things you wish you told your daughter, up to 10 things you told your daughter about men. Don't ever let a man pressure you into doing something you don't think is right. Believe actions, not words. How many times have I told you guys that? They could talk so much shit, girl. Just be talking so much smooth bullshit that sounds so good. Your panties be flying off. You be opening up your house. You be opening up your wallet. You just grinning. Nigga ain't busted a grape. But here you are. Listen to his words. He says, and then under the 10 things you wish you had told your daughter but didn't. All men are not trouble. You just need to make sure you do your best to find the ones that are good for you. And then he said that the reasons he had for telling his daughter the things he did is his goal was to encourage her to think for herself and be grounded in who she is, so she is less vulnerable to bad influences. I always encourage critical thought and introspection with dealing with relationships. Oh, that was good. That was good. God, why am I coughing? I think my throat is too dry from all the running my mouth I've been doing. Okay, here's another one from a dad. Please set out up to 10 things you told your daughter about men and life to protect and guide her path. Make sure he is a gentleman. Make sure he is respectful. Let me go back to this gentleman thing for 1 minute. I was reading this thing online where these guys were talking about they only open doors and do all that kind of stuff for women who, quote, deserve it. And I'm like, deserve? How would you make that determination about who deserves you to open the door for them? That is a gentlemanly behavior. See, my thing is this. You take home with you everywhere you go, and what you are is projected in everything that you do. Being a gentleman is not something that you turn off and on like a switch. when it's to your advantage, or when you have some perceived benefit, you think you're going to get something out of it. That's manipulation. That is not a gentleman. A gentleman opens the doors for everyone. He will see a dad struggling with the baby in a stroller. He'll open the door for him because it's the gentlemanly, courteous human thing to do. He'll hold the door open for old people, an old man with a cane. He'll do that because it's the gentlemanly thing to do. He's not going to do it just for some fly baby who's got a fat ass who he's try to get her number. See, that's where they were going with it. That's not a gentleman. So you guys who do that kind of thing, um, you a mini me? There you go. So that's the difference between a gentleman who's a gentleman towards everyone. He doesn't pick and choose who he's going to be a gentleman to. So that's a very important differentiation that I think you young ladies need to hear. So you got a guy who turns it off and on like that, then he's not a gentleman. He's just doing something because he thinks it's going to get him something. Okay. Yes, being a gentleman is another way of saying a real man. You're exactly right. But sometimes they'd be like, well, they don't know they claim they don't understand what you mean by quote real man. So everybody knows what a gentleman is though. Mannerly person who's courteous, polite to everyone, genteel. We all know what a gentleman is without really too much um, explanation. Well, gentlemen is kind of difficult because you got so many young people who are more influenced by their peers than they are by who they want to be. They haven't decided yet who they want to be as a man. So they are allowing themselves to be influenced by other people. So if they try to do something gentlemanly, like open the door for a woman or somebody, so man, you should just let the door slam in that bitch's face. What you holding the door for? You a simp. You a this and that. Okay, so they listen to that, and then they are interested in getting the approval of those knuckleheads. So they, start doing what the knuckleheads want them to do. That's not a man. When you're a man, you decide who you're going to be, and you are that thing no matter what anybody else says to you. What a man would say to someone like that is, dude, you ain't a gentleman. I don't know what the fuck you are, but one thing you not going to do is call me names or tell me what I should do for myself. This is the kind of man that I am. I open the doors for people. Now you choose not to do that. That's you and your red wagon. I really don't give a fuck. But you're not going to talk to me like that, motherfucker, or we going to have a problem. See, me, I would probably have shot several people by now if I was a dude. You'd be mouthing off. I'll blow your lips off your face. How about that? Now say some shit now say. Now say some bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Your daddy was right. I mean, my husband was good. He would put me in the car and he would even lean over and put the seatbelt on me like I was too delicate and precious to do it myself. I love that shit. Of course, I could put on my own seatbelt. When I drove by myself, I put on my own seatbelt. But it was just his gesture, and then he would always give me a kiss after he did it. He would lean over, do the seat, kiss, close the door. It was like a little routine we had, and I love that shit. And that's one of the things I missed. I missed those little things like that. You get in those routines as a couple, and those are the little things that you think about that you miss that no other guy I've ever dated has ever done. So this dad says, okay, make sure he's a gentleman, make sure he's respectful. This is key. I was so proud of my daughter one time. She went out on a date with this kid, right? The kid, he did everything right at first. He came to the house, he picked her up. I met the little boy and everything. And, so everything was cool. So then he took her to her favorite Japanese restaurant and everything. And then she came back. I said, well, how did it go? Because the kid was cute. He was very mannerable. He was educated. I thought he was, he was a couple of years older than her. So she was like a senior in high school. He was in first year, second year college or something. And so then she's like, oh no, I'll never see him again. I had to tell him off. I'm like, what? What? Because my baby is very quiet and very, she's quiet. She don't really have too much to say. And she said that she was telling him about her art because she's very into art and all the stuff. And he started raining on her parade, telling her that that was a stupid major and that, nobody makes money being an artist and she should be something in tech and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And she has tech skills too, don't get me wrong. But her heart is in art, okay, just like her daddy. That's where she got that from because I draw stick figures. So she didn't get that shit from me. She can make beautiful drawings. I'll try to find some so I can show you guys sometime. And so she fired dude on the spot, but to his credit, he had enough sense to come by the house. And one day she was there, and he apologized in her face, to her face. And I said, okay, well, he's redeemable. But he realized what he had done, and he apologized. So see, good credit, respectful, and a gentleman. So he was able to redeem himself, at least in my eyes. But my daughter still didn't want nothing to do with him, and so that was her choice. So then the dad says, be happy and enjoy your life. Be understanding of other people. Trust yourself. How many of you don't trust yourself? You always second guess yourself. You listen to what other people say. Trust yourself. Help others when you can. The moment you feel it's wrong, it is. Just move on. Make sure he treats you with love, respect, and honor. You have one life. Go out there with no regrets. And that is one of the things that I think is important that dads do for girls. And let me explain this to you. Mothers tend to be very worried about safety. They always afraid of every damn thing, right? Not me. I'm a very atypical mother. But oh, well, you might get hurt, or, that's scary. Aren't you afraid? That's kind mommy doesn't want you to do it because I'm, okay. So they put their kids in a bubble of protection. Father's like, yeah, let's do it. And so the kid ends up with a broken bone, but the kid has memories. The kid was a star. The kid just, they're going to be talking about this shit when they're in the nursing home when they're 90 years old about this wonderful thing that they did with their dad. And fathers kind of push kids' limits. They do things with them that the kid might be afraid of doing by themselves, but they feel okay about trying it because their daddy is there. Even something as simple as learning to ride a bike. Remember how scary that was when you took your training wheels off? Oh my God, I thought I was going to smash my face. But my daddy was right there holding on, holding on. And then so now I got my little confidence up, and then he let go, and I was riding a bike. That's what dads do. And that, I think, is the difference between how you say so many girls who have good fathers in their life are so much braver. They're so much bolder. They're so much more willing to take risks and take chances than girls who only grew up around a mother and no, male influences. They tend to be very timid, or they do that passive aggressive thing where they want to cuss you out of stuff, but then they let men run all over them. You just be the same all the time. So I thought that was really interesting. So then he closed it out by saying, my daughter's 9 going on 10. I want to continue to guide her, love her, nurture her, and make sure she's happy, supported, and loved. Boys, and for that matter, men, are not even on her immediate thought processes right now. Well, that's good. But it will be soon enough, Dad. Because a lot of little girls, they start thinking about that shit when they get about 12, 13 years old. They like little Johnny. That does not mean they're ready for, these men, grown men be talking about, oh, that means she's ready for sex. No, she's not. She likes little Johnny, and it's an innocent kind of, teeny bopper kind of thing. And it don't have nothing to do with you and your horny, nasty, fucking predator ass. I'm looking for another dad one. I should have organized these. Like I said, most of them are daughters. So, it's kind of a challenge to find. Oh, here's another one that's a dad. Okay, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Chat out 10 things you told your daughter about men and life. Don't drink alcohol. Don't accept rides with guys you don't know. Be alert. Observe your surroundings and make sure the guy treats you like a lady. 10 things that he wished he had told his daughter but did not. Focus more on your career path, investments, and savings for when you're old. And share the reasons that you have for telling her the things that you did to lead a disciplined life with no regrets for the decisions that she makes. Oh my God, how powerful is that? Discipline and responsibility. Like I said, don't be going through life all willy nilly, just doing crazy, stupid shit just because you can. Okay, I'm looking for. Ooh, who wrote this? This is long. Hold on, I'm looking. It's just too many pieces of paper. I don't know why I didn't think to separate these from the dads from the daughters. I just printed them out, and just this one giant wad of paper. Daughter, 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 more daughters. Uh, so what? That was three dads. I told you hardly any responded, but I thought it was more than that. Thought it was more than three. I got all kind of like 30 answers from women though. Okay, well look, that's all I can find right now anyway. Let me just put it that way. That doesn't mean that's all that's in there. That just means that's all I can find. All right. So let me continue with some more things. Now we're going to move on to the things that the daughters wished that their fathers had taught them and how they think those, if they had that information, it may have changed their life. This is important. Okay, this daughter says that she thinks that, well, her dad barely told her anything. She wished that he had told her that men are just people because they're just males doesn't mean that they really are heartless. And that how what her dad told her or didn't tell her, I guess it would have made me closer to him if he had told me more about men. But firsthand experience has been a great way to learn, all hardships included. Yeah, but shoot, why go through hardships if you don't have to? That's what I'm saying. All right. Next daughter. I think, she says, while his advice, oops, sorry about that. I dropped some papers on my keyboard. Um, while his advice has given me a lot of control in my relationships and helped me avoid a lot of heartbreak, I think it has caused me to disconnect from men a little bit more and has made it difficult for me to open up and be vulnerable. Well, I'm going to say this. If you feel like it was difficult for you to open up and be vulnerable, then you needed to be because those were not the right kind of dudes. That's what that means. Do not get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. She says that her dad always told her not to sweat these niggas and not to call them, let them call you. That's right. That's what I be telling you guys. I made a whole video about it. Do not call men. Do not ask men out on dates and do not ever, ever fix your lips to propose marriage to a man. Oh my God. This young lady says, Jesus, like, what did the dad, tell her? He told me nothing. He didn't really want me. Wow. He didn't tell her anything because he didn't care about or want me in his new family's life. He left us for a single mom of a son who he adopted as his own and fathered him while he ignored me. Wow. What a creep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why go through hardships if you don't have to? I think she's just trying to find a way to wrap her mind, around that she did. I mean, it's better to say, well, I learned from it, just move on from it, like acceptance kind of thing, rather than it is to dwell on it, like he never taught me anything. He's this and that. So I can see where her approach is a healthy, emotionally healthy one for her. It's gonna keep her light and moving forward instead of stuck in the past. So I can totally understand why she said that. Now this is where it gets interesting. When I asked the question, set out up to 10 things you wish your dad had taught you or told you about men, love, and life in general. She wrote a lot. She said, you wish your dad had told you. She wishes that he had said, I'm a piece of shit and did not deserve to be a father, create life, or be called a man. Most other men don't either, so be very selective in who you trust or love. Damn! Number two, you're a good girl. It's not your fault you were molested as a child and then later had your virginity raped out and then became pregnant by your rapist, making you a teen mom because I was absent and had zero love or real concern for you or your well being. Oh. And she writes number three. You're correct, daughter. I did deserve to be either aborted by grandmother or castrated as a youth so I could never have created a life. I'm a failure and I'm going to do all I can for the rest of my pointless ass, undeserved life to make everything fucked up that I said and did up to you until you understand that you do matter and I'm truly sorry. Wow. So then she concluded by sharing how her dad told you helped make your life different. I would have made of your life different. I would have been able to develop into a normal woman and have a regular, decent life by now. Instead of being preyed on sexually and then physically abused as a small child and bullied and have to retreat inside myself as my only refuge of safety and not developing socially and psychologically because of the horrific and humiliating trauma from that type of childhood. My plant was nourished with abundant abuse, abandonment, and loneliness instead of sunlight, fresh air, and water. So now I can't bear fruit like the others because of him. Oh, this is so sad. Yeah, but this is the kind of stuff that 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 fathers do. They have in their hands the chance to change someone's life, make that daughter better than they could have ever hoped to be, and they fail miserably. So, you ladies, I'm telling you, I'm begging you, please stop having kids by these miscellaneous stray, miscellaneous knuckleheads from out of prison. They don't have shit. They ain't about shit. They don't want to have shit. They talk crazy. They treat people poorly. They're abusive. They're nasty. They're gross. They're disgusting. Please, please, please stay away from them. It has to begin with you feeling better about yourself, though. And this, I'm hoping that through some exploration as we go through this, that can help happen, that can start happening. Yeah, this is very sad. They have a lot of resentment towards these dads. And you got to remember, like a father, one of the best roles of your father, one of the things that they do the most, even though they push you to extend your boundaries and to try new things, what are they there? They're always there to protect you. So even like I said, like you gonna learn to ride the bike. Like this is an example, right? You're going to strike out on your own. You're gonna learn to ride the bike, but your dad is there to protect you from falling as you go through that process. See, he's holding on to the back. I'll never forget one time, and I was probably about 12, and my brother had this mini bike. Why was I trying to ride the mini bike? They had told me to stay off the mini bike. I was too little to be on the mini bike. I didn't know the first thing about riding a mini bike, but the mini bike was in front of the house. I bounced my little ass down the stairs. I see nobody on the mini bike, and my daddy was in the basement. And so I think this is a great opportunity for me to get on the mini bike. I could have killed my stupid self. Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys what happened. They had this little engine in this thing that used to run a lawnmower. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really powerful and it was really fast. It was strong I mean, it's meant to, to whir blades to cut grass and stuff, not to be moving a little mini bike. Okay, so I hop on this thing and I turn the little thing, the key, and I go, to make it go. And I didn't know how sensitive it was, so I turned the handle back like this. That thing popped a wheelie. That's how Braggs and Stratton, I think was the Briggs and Stratton. I think that was the name of the motor. But at the time, it was a really powerful little motor. That thing popped a wheelie, right? I almost fell off. So your natural instinct is to hold on, right? So while I'm holding on, of course, that's making it go faster. So I'm going down the street like a trick artist on the back wheel of this thing, and this sucker was moving. I'm screaming, honey, I have never in my life seen my daddy move so fast. That man came out that garage because he was rather cool. He didn't rush about nothing. He took off. He was chasing me. He caught that motorbike and it hit a telephone pole. These are the old days when the pole, everything was still up on, on up above ground. Hit a telephone pole and started going up the pole. So then I fell off and that father caught me, snatched me back. The mini bike fell. The mini bike was all fucked up, but I survived without a scratch. Now, I could have been easily killed. If the thing turned and went into the street, because we lived on a busy street, I would have got hit by 3 or 4 cars. Had the thing fallen on me, I would have died. It could have punctured my eye. It could have, slit my throat. I mean, we're talking metal here. There was all kind of ways I could have died in that one instance. But who saved me in that moment was my father. Of course, I got my butt beat for for doing that, but I think about that sometimes. And that to me is what a daddy is there to do. Yeah, you're gonna experience. You're gonna go out into the world. You're gonna do something, but he's gonna provide. He's gonna be looking at you, and he's gonna be watching you. A couple of times I found that when I started new school and I had learned to walk out to school, I didn't know it until years later. My father was following me like a block behind in his truck, just making sure that I got there safely and didn't get lost. I went on my own, but he was watching. He was there in the back, making sure that I was safe. So this is a kind of thing that fathers are supposed to do. And when you have a situation where your father's not doing that, but is instead the one who's the predator and scaring you and abusing you and doing things that hurt you and hurting your mama, see, it creates a very weird dynamic in a girl's life. Yeah, we do have a different respect perspective, but what it is um there's healing that needs to be done, because just because they have a different perspective doesn't mean that you can't get it too. So see, that's what I'm saying. There's healing to be done. So how they talk about that inner child. You have to do the work to acknowledge that this is what you wanted, right? You wanted this from your father. This is what he taught you. This is the man that he is. This is what you wanted from him. Now what you going to do with that information? You're an adult now. Okay, so what you wanted is never going to happen. Not from him. It's not going to happen. But you can still have a good life. You can still, as our motto on this channel, live your best life without him. Okay, you don't have to have had that, but you do have to heal yourself and heal those wounds and stop expecting to get that love, that devotion, and that protection from any other man other than him. So a lot of women try to put this new guy in that bag, and it's too much. No man can fill that void of your daddy. He can love you as he is right now and give you the love as a woman to a man, but he's never going to be able to make up for what your daddy didn't give you. That's what I want you guys to think about. The expectations that you have from these guys. They can love you, they can be there for you, they can do stuff, but whatever is the emptiness that you have because of this fractured relationship with your father, any man that comes along now, he's never going to be able to fill that void. And expecting him to is going to set up your relationships for failure. But he should treat you well. He should respect you. All of those kind of things. You have every right to expect those things. Exactly. Mother Moon hit it right on the nose right there. She says, give your inner child the love and protection that she deserves. It really changes your mentality. That's what I'm saying. She summed up all them thousand words I used in just the one sentence. But that's beautiful and that's perfect. You're responsible for healing you. If you need some help doing that, because I know this is just a video. My goal is to get you on the path, okay? If you need help walking the road, you're going to have to get that from some local therapists. I suggest you go on the website for the Association of Black Psychologists and look for someone who's in that organization that's in your area. If you don't see someone, call them and ask for a referral. Maybe it's been like an ex-member or something or whatever. They still might be able to help you find somebody if you're looking for, you want somebody black. If you're not black and you still, you want one, just any psychologist that you think will work for you, please get that help to help you fit, complete the path, your trip on down this path. I'm getting you on the road where you're going to open up your mind and start thinking about what you heard, what it meant to you, how you felt about it. Okay, and what you feel was missing. What is it your heart is hungering for? You got to identify those things, ladies. You can't hide from them. You can't keep running from them. Running in circles and just behaving, reacting emotionally to stuff, and you're not sure why you're doing what you're doing. You're not thinking about it. You're not putting it into kind of context. That's the goal of this show. There's a lot of women hurt because of the relationships that they have with their father, and they're taking that hurt on into other relationships, both professional, platonic, just friendships and romantic relationships, and you can't do that to yourself. You can't do that to yourself. Your dad's in his 70s. He had 2 heart attacks, but he still jokes around and still spoils you. Aw, daddies are the best when they act right. Okay, now this is from a daughter. Let's see what she has to say. what she wished her dad had done. That some people are broken in ways that you can't understand, daughter. This is what she wished he had told her. That while you can forgive a person's negative actions, you can't forgive their beliefs, their religion, or cultures. Forgiveness can occur with or without a change in a person's behavior, but true reconciliation cannot happen without a change in belief. Hmm. All right. And how her dad helped her. She says she missed STD's heartbreak, and she's not as poor as she would be had her father not instructed her about men through his own behavior of loving and providing for me. If I knew just how many men were bad for me due to culture, I would have made the choice to be more open minded and put myself around different people years ago. I think she's talking about dating out, dating, internationally. I tell y'all, my daddy did not want me to be with a black man at all. He thought he's like, it's the dudes of old are long gone, and that he felt like society was just getting worse. So he groomed me from an early age to think that I was going to be with some white dude. That's why I had ballet lessons and tennis lessons and golf lessons, stuff that he thought stereotypically at that time that, white people did primarily. So yeah, I was the only black girl in our whole neighborhood with a set of golf clubs, a nice tennis racket head. Used to be a good brand. I don't know what they use now. And it was kind of a trip. So I did stuff that, other black kids in my neighborhood just did not do, and they thought I was really weird. It felt strange. It still does. So she says she did not grow up with her dad, but these are 10 things that she wishes that her dad had told her. That lies men tell, that I was beautiful, that I was perfect, that about race inequalities, what men love about women, just to be present, to set the bar of what a man should be, and showing me accurate male representation. If I had fatherly guidance, I may have never been a teen mom, she says. I agree. I think that's a big part of it statistically. The girls who do not have a strong father figure tend to get pregnant earlier and to start having sex earlier and to become pregnant outside of marriage. And then she says she can't think of one thing that her dad taught her. Not one. Wow. I wish my dad would have taught me the nature of a man, that men and women are different, the role a man should play in a woman's life. If my dad had been a positive role model, I don't think I would have had to go through so much trial and error with men. Due to the fact that my dad wasn't around, I had no idea of how a man should behave. My model of a man was a selfish, no good man who abandoned me, my mom, and siblings. For years, I picked men who abandoned me just as my dad did. It was like I had to constantly replay that scenario until I was able to make peace with it. That's what I said at the earlier part of the show. It's called repetition compulsion. It's a psychological term, and it's something that happens to human beings. They will repeat a painful experience over and over and over until they come to some kind of terms with it. Luckily, she did at some point. You learn more from me than you did from your dad. Well, yeah, I come to this show. It's like I'm channeling my father, I swear. Sometimes, my brothers look at it, it's like, who are you? I'm like, what you talking about? You sound just like daddy. I'm like, I know. I'm trying to share him with everybody. I have a picture of my parents around here somewhere. I need to find it so I can let you guys see my mom and dad. And I showed it at one point a long time ago, but that was months ago or last year or something. And let people see it because I do not remember which video that was. But let you see this crazy man, and so fun though, so fun. But very no nonsense, cuss your ass out in a minute, and if you acted too stupid, then he would shoot you. And I have the same attitude. It's like I'm just exactly like the spitting image of him, except I look more like my mother. But we all have my dad's eyes, and big old, biggie, googly eyes. We all have those. Okay, so this daughter says that to 10 things her dad instructed her about, don't bring home a white man. Oh, wow. That a man don't want no messy woman, a messy house, a car, a woman who can't cook. Get out of this small town. Be better than me and your mama when you grow up. That she says that I'm dingy. My college degree doesn't mean anything. My dad fussed and cussed and screamed a lot. Oh, these are the things he did instruct her about. Okay. That she was stupid. Wow. That your college degree doesn't mean anything. Who does that? These are 10 things that she wished he had said. That your value is not determined by what you do to keep a man. You're beautiful. You should aim to be a doctor or some other prestigious career, not just consider being a nurse or a teacher. Many women and boys, men and boys use women not just for money, but for security, a roof over their head, a car, a trophy wife, and sex. Sex does not equal love. What a man brings to the table is important, if not more important than what I bring. Oh, so he never told her that? Wow. A man should be the provider, not just talk about it, but be about it. There's a big world out there. Go see it. And then number nine, not be so timid and nervous around people, specifically black men. She said if her father had been more active in her life, she wouldn't have made some of the mistakes I make. I think I'd be in a dream position now. I wouldn't have been so quick to get in a relationship with guys who didn't have anything together. I would have been so quick to acknowledge Dusties who said I was cute. I wouldn't have lost my virginity at such a young age. I would have felt like I could go to him for comfort. And that's very important. I still remember, not my father so much because he was always, that man, he was just too busy. But my grandfather, um, he would come in from his job and he would take his shower and stuff, and then he would put on his clean work clothes that he was going to wear to work the next day, and then he would lounge in those. So I remember being about 4 years old, and this was our routine because I used to stay with my grandmother while my mom worked at night. And I would go find my grandfather in the living room, and he always smelled like Old Spice and Camel cigarettes because that's what he used to smoke. And I would go and I would climb up in his lap and I would lay my head on his chest right here and listen to his heartbeat. And then I would just fall asleep. This was every day while I was like 4 or 5 years old, maybe till I went to school. And it was just the most relaxing thing. And he would talk to me and stuff. I'm telling you, that was the best. That was the best. So, but yeah, with my father, I don't know, he was more, he was younger and he was more down to earth. I mean, down, about business and making money and, buying property and doing, doing this stuff. So he wasn't really like the Mr. Cuddly, but he would talk to me a lot about stuff. But my grandfather was the one who I got more of the actual physical nurturing, that kind of stuff from, not my dad. That man, he was a trip. Okay, this daughter says she said 10 things her dad instructed her about. He taught me that black men ain't shit. He told me to always be true to myself and to not fold to what others wanted me to do, be, or say. He told me to never follow the crowd and instead to be a leader. He told me that I was special and important and to be protected, and he made sure that I was always protected in that way. And she says, sometimes I think he told me too much. Oh, then this one's blank. This is another daughter. She says her dad told her nothing. She wishes he had told her to love herself more, choose a generous man who provides, don't entertain men with potential or nothing at all, and stop falling for empathy penis. Wow. My life would have been a lot different if I was looking for my dad and all those men. So this is a recurring theme, and I think you guys get the general idea. Let me flip to one in the back and see what somebody else says. I was kind of taking them in order, but I want to skip to one in the back. This young lady said her dad told her nothing. Anything would have been better than sending me out blind into the world. I would have dealt with fools and accepted a lot of awful behavior for so long that was directed towards me. Wow. I wouldn't have been so ready to experiment with sex if my dad would have been more honest with me about what boys and men really do and think about women. Also, if I would have seen my dad be the sole provider and protector of the family, I wouldn't have tried to prove how good of a woman I am by providing for a man. Wow. This is interesting. This is 10 things your dad instructed you about concerning men, love, and life. A married woman shouldn't have to work two jobs while her husband only has one or none. What? It's good to have more than one skill. Any man who's worth his salt wouldn't use profanity or degrading language to get a woman's attention. All children should have chores. Your adult child shouldn't live under your roof rent free. Don't discuss politics at work. Even if the guy's paying for the date, always have money for your meal or cab fare just in case he starts acting up. Everyone is not going to agree with everything you do or say. I never hit you, so don't you ever let a man hit you either. Get out ASAP. Don't stay with a man who allows his family or others around him to mistreat you or any children you have. Can I get an amen? And I'm not even religious. On this one, the thing she says that she wishes her dad had taught her. I wish he had taught me how to budget. We're going to do a financial, I don't want to say class, but video. I'm working on getting, a professional, financial professional from this organization here in Oakland. I wish he taught me more about cars. I wish he taught me that it's okay to be different. I wish we had more daddy daughter time. I wish he would have told my brothers to mind their own business when it comes to my dating life. I wish he would have called out my brothers and male relatives regarding their cheating. I wish he was better at running a business. I wish he would have told me it was okay to pamper myself without feeling guilty. I don't like the fact that he's picky when it comes to food, and I wish that he would be accepting of me dating interracially. Huh. What? Okay, I'm gonna stop there with that. But what did you guys think about those responses from the women? I thought they were very interested and very heartfelt, and I think yeah, we'll do that. It's hard to get people this time of year. People don't want to like commit to anything. They're going out of town. They're traveling. They have family coming in. It's gonna have to be after the holidays. I tried, but everybody's like, no, no, no. Call me in January. Click. So there you go. It will have to at the earliest. It'll be January, because February I do a video a day February, so it can't be then. So it's gonna have to be either January or March. Okay, so let me go over what I think. Um, some of the things that daughters need from fathers. This is my list. Okay, this is not anything grounded from scientific research. Well, some of the stuff is backed by scientific research, but in general, this is what I think that girls need from my experience, observation, my experience of being a girl, my experience of observing girls and having girlfriends growing up, watching my brother's girlfriends, having female cousins, and interacting with hundreds of thousands of women online who did not have their dads around. This is what I think women need from their father. And I feel like I'm in a very unique position to give this opinion because few people have lived life the way that I have or have done what I have done during their days on this planet. Let me have a swig first. Yeah, little popcorn got it going on, honey. She can speak several languages and she's young. And she is religiously watches this show. Gets up in the middle of the night in Paris, France. Okay, what Deb Cooper says women need from their fathers. She needs you to fucking show up. What does that mean? That means you do what you say you're gonna do. You show the fuck up. Okay. That means you don't just show up when it's convenient. You don't show up when the game is over. You don't show up when you don't have shit else to do. You show up because you told her you were going to show up, and you show up because she needs you. Okay, that's what your daughters need from you, to be there for her. Okay, you don't, and talking to her, you what a lot of guys do is they like you tell them stuff, right? And you women, we've experienced this too. You tell him something, and like you talk about your friends or something. He may have even met your friend, and suddenly who, what? Oh, I can't keep up with that. Okay, how does that make you feel? It's like whatever your life is not important to him. Okay, as a father, you should know your children's friends. You should know your daughter's friends. So when little Susie and little Lisa show up, you can say, "Oh, hi, little Lisa. Hi, little Susie. How are your parents doing? How's your dog?" Okay, that's a father who's interested in his fucking daughter. All right, you go to her violin things and her rehearsals and her ballet les shows and all the stuff. Even if she's not that good of it, you're still there because she needs you to show up for her. Okay, if she's having problems at school, you get your ass, you right, they tell your boss you'll be an hour late, and you show your ass up at that school and you talk shit to those people said about protecting your daughter. I don't care if you with the mama or not, that's your baby. And you need to be there for her. You show the fuck up. Okay? This really gets on my nerves because I see so much of these dads not showing up. They're lazy, complacent, and they try to use the excuse, well, the mama won't let me see her. That's what they have courts for, motherfucker. That's what they have attorneys for. You really wanted to see your daughter. There's nothing in this world the mother could do to stop you. Okay, you don't want to see your daughter. You don't want to show up for her. Just admit that you're a two-bit piece of shit. Stop trying to blame it on other people. Well, you might be successful because of the struggle, but you could also be successful without that. So, now you got battle scars and all the shit that you had to go through. You could be twice as successful as you are now if you didn't have to do all of that. See, that's what I'm saying. Nothing. Yeah, my dad started. I don't know if it was 7, but he would talk. But oh, his relationship issues. Oh no, no, my dad didn't do that. When I got about 11 or 12, then he started talking to me about men and boys and prepping me for what was getting ready to come. And sure enough, all right, Deb's second thing, you need to model and teach, basically demonstrate respect not only for yourself but for others and for your daughter. Now, that is a big umbrella. And a lot of men don't want to show respect because they don't know how to show respect because they don't even respect themselves. Well, how can you show a man who doesn't respect himself? A man who knows he's married and he goes out here start trying to talk shit to other women. Okay, you're not respecting yourself. Neither, sir, are you respecting your daughter. Neither, sir, are you respecting the parents who raised you. Neither, sir, are you respecting the woman that you married. Okay, you're just a disrespectful fucker. That's what you are. But you need to change that. You need to be an example for your daughter of what a respectful man is. A man who honors his commitments. A man who stands up and does the right thing even when it's not convenient or he might want to do something else. That is respect and accountability at work. Okay? You are respectful to women. You don't call women horrible names. You don't flirt with, you married, you don't flirt with other women. You don't do that. You respect your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, any woman that you come in contact with. Even if they act up or they present themselves as a lower class woman, you still show respect because you show respect is about you. It's not about them at all. My grandfather taught me that. He's like, anybody, like you got a bum in the street, and he would say, he was out there in the street drunk and throwing up his shit and in the gutter yesterday, but today he got a suit on and he's going to church and he's Mr. So and so again. And he would say, but a lot of people don't want to do that when it's a woman, but he says that's not respectful. If you're going to respect people, you respect them no matter what kind of situation they're in right now. You respect them as a human being. It doesn't mean you align yourself with them. It doesn't mean you give them access to your money. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that you show them common courtesy and politeness. That's what you do. Okay, you don't call them names. You should model respect for your daughter. She's going to learn to respect herself. You respect yourself, she's going to learn to respect herself because she's going to see you doing it. It's going to rub off on her. If you respect other people, your daughter's going to respect other people too because why? She sees you doing it. Children learn by what they see. Okay, you up there modeling some nignoggery and shit, your daughter's gonna learn that's acceptable behavior. And then you can't say shit when your daughter walks through a door with a motherfucker who treats her just like you did. See, that's what's wrong with these men. They don't think past their dick. They see into the future for how what they're doing now is going to affect the next generation. And see, that's the thing that really bothers me too, because you doing okay, you doing this shit now, right? Your daughter's seeing that. Okay, now your daughter and your son, they gonna go out and they gonna have kids. Okay, they're modeling your shit. Okay, they're gonna take your shit and they're gonna teach it to the next generation. So your shit is getting passed down your family line. The only way to stop that is for you to get your shit together and start acting like you got some goddamn sense. This is ridiculous. These men are so stupid. And it's like, this kind of stuff, it becomes a culture of your family. The man, my daddy cheated, so I'm going to cheat. Or my daddy worked and supported his family. He worked 2 jobs. That's what I'm going to do because to him, that's the standard of manhood. Okay? What you do as a man, your children are going to look at you and they're going to become that. So you better watch what you do, you dudes. Now, it's important, I think, too, that men see themselves as not like a god, or what they be talking about. I'm a king, all this stuff. Okay, that's unrealistic, and please don't do that around your daughters, because you're not a fucking king. You don't have a crown. You don't have a kingdom. You don't have no riches. You don't have shit. Okay, you're just a nigger. You just some little crazy white boy. You just a regular man with just a regular job, or you might own a little business or whatever. But your ass is not a king of anything. You're not royalty. Okay, your daughter might love you like you are, but you're not. Okay, so it's very important that you be regular. Okay, you need to show your daughter that there's things you don't know, and you guys can, pick up a book, go to encyclopedia or whatever, go online and research it. She's little, sit her in her lap, and then you read her the answer. She asks you a question about, I don't know, bees or something. You don't know the answer because you don't know every damn thing. You don't lie to her, pretend that you do. You go on like, well, daddy doesn't really know. It's okay to let your kids know you don't know everything. But honey, let's go find out together. Does that sound good? Yes, daddy. And so you sit her down, y'all look it up, and you read it to her what it says about the bees. And then both of you guys are learning, and it's also a bonding moment for you with your daughter. She learns my dad is not a know-it-all. My dad can admit that he doesn't know anything. Likewise, when you make a mistake, it's very important that you could be able to admit to your daughter, I did the wrong thing. And like I said earlier, a mistake is making a mistake with a recipe, putting something together wrong, the on the door on the wrong side of the hinges, something like that. That's a mistake. Okay, you putting your dick in another woman, that's not a mistake. That was a conscious decision, and it was a fucked up one. Okay, you don't deserve to apologize for that. You don't deserve to get any pass on that either. But you make a mistake. You teach your daughter that you know how to apologize and fix the problem. Okay, that's the main thing. She want to see a solution, a resolution to the issue. I remember when I was about, I don't know, because I always thought my dad walked on water. My daddy knew everything. He was the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, the smartest. He was just the shit. And then I got about 13. 13-year-olds are assholes. And then I realized that he was just a regular dude, and I was just so disappointed. And then by the time I got around 15, I realized he was a regular dude, but he was a great regular dude, and I loved him. So I was back to the hero worshiping thing, but it was just a little bit more realistic. And so you watch them teens, because teenage girls are kind of, oof. I would never want to be a teenager again. I would just rather fly myself to the moon and just ban myself there. Oh no. Okay. I think this is another thing that's very important for girls to see their father do, to try to do something and to fail at it. And a lot of men were like, no, I don't want my daughter to see me be a failure. Oh, it's very important that she see you be a failure. Because the main thing is not that you be a failure, but that you don't give up. That you stand back up, you brush that off, and you say, well, that didn't work. And then you keep going until you become a winner. That's what your daughter needs to see her daddy doing. That's what a hero does. Okay, then there's nothing, no man could ever tell her shit about her daddy, because she said, well, I saw my daddy try and he failed, and then he did it. He kept going until he was successful. So, nigga, what's wrong with you? Why you stop after the first failure? You ain't shit. You see what I'm saying? She's going to have expectations of her man being great, of trying and striving and making it shit happen. And that's what you want. So, you guys who, you don't want to try because you scared you're going to fail, you a fuck up. Okay, your daughter's never going to learn anything from you. You're a waste of breath. Get off the planet. You just using up resources of somebody with some sense needs. Your daughter has got to see you as a human being that's fallible. But she needs to see that you are a person of perseverance, that you're going to keep going until you win. That's what happens. That's what makes your daughter tough and strong and makes her successful. She's going to model that shit after you. And she's not going to be afraid to try stuff. That's what a lot of black people, they don't want. Oh, girl, I'm scared of that. Oh, you ain't scared? Oh my God, I couldn't do that, girl. What if I don't like it? What if they tease me? What if this? Okay, all this fear and mongering and and a fear of failure and stuff. Your daughter won't have that because she will have modeled herself after you. My daddy did this. My daddy told me I can be anything I want to be. I can do anything I put my mind to. Let me roll up my sleeves and make this shit happen. And she's going to pay more attention to you than she will to anybody else. But if you're a fuck up and a failure, and the first time you try something, you sit down and you never try again, she's going to see you as weak and stupid, and she's going to hate you. Oh my God. Yes, it does. You know, the confidence comes. You only confident people are willing to go out on a limb and try something with the risk of failure. Those who are not confident don't want to risk failure. They only want to win. So they're going to ask you for the answer to the test. They're going to ask you what's the right way to say something, what's the right thing to do. They're always worried about what's right instead of what works. Okay, and when it works, you don't hurt other people. That's an important part of what works. But a lot of times you don't know what's gonna work until you try multiple things, and then you find you find a solution to the problem. But if you're the kind of person that is afraid to try anything, then you're never going to go out on that limb. You're never gonna risk. And that's very important. That's what the benefit that a father can bring to a girl's life. Yeah, you got to be willing to risk failure in order to achieve success. If you're not willing to risk failure, you'll never become a winner because you will always stay your ass on the bench where it's safe. Okay? You always be on the bench. So, I think it's important too that, if a girl sees you doing that, you stumble and fall, but you get back up. Ooh, excuse me. She's not going to want to waste her time with dudes who just stumble and fall and stay down. She'll be on like a light switch, on to the next one because she won't feel like she needs to build a man up and, support a man and do other stuff like these girls that grow up fatherless do or who have fathers who are stupid. So this is very important especially if you a young man and you thinking about having children in the future. This is something that you need to be aware of as you move into fatherhood. Your children are looking at you more than you will ever know. They watch how you eat. They watch how you dress. They watch you, just everything. They want to imitate everything about daddy. It's just the most amazing thing. Another thing on my list is you need to demonstrate that you can keep a secret. Now, when they're little, it's going to be, things like, Daddy, don't tell mommy, but I sneaked in a cookie jar and I got a chocolate chip cookie and I ate it under the table. Don't tell mommy. Okay. Now, Daddy, you're going to want to tell mommy because it's just funny as hell. But you got to keep a straight face and you say, okay, well, little Susie, why did you take a cookie when you know you weren't supposed to take a cookie? Well, cause something, she gonna have some excuse. Okay, so you have to admonish her for doing that, but then you thank her for telling the truth and tell her that you will keep her secret, but you don't want her to do that again because you don't like keeping secrets from mommy. But you love her and whatever you want to say. But you see my point? You have to show her that. Then as your daughter gets older, she'll trust you with other stuff. Like, so and so tried to touch me. Or dad, this, I'm getting bullied at school. Or dad, this person said this and that to me and it really hurt my feelings. Or this boy is bothering me. She's going to tell you stuff and she doesn't want you to go broadcast it to the world. Or go to wait till there's a dinner party and then say, yeah, Shelly told me blah 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 blah, and use it as a fodder to get yourself attention and last for yourself. Men have done that. They do that. You throw myself in a good situation, put yourself in a support from my parents. I'm proud of myself for that. Good for you, Kara. You watch Men's Table, man. Ooh, girl, yes. Oh my God. I dated this guy. Let me see. What do I have here that I can show you? How he held uh a fork. And this motherfucker was in his 40s. Okay, this is a pen. Pretend that this black part is the part, where the prongs are for the fork. He held it in his fist like a baby, like this. And then he was shoveling the food like that. That's how he ate. And I was looking at that shit and I was like, wow. Wow. Where you learn that at? Where they do that at? Yeah, so we were the one date wonder. I'm like, I'm not trying to teach you manners. I go to too many, business events where there's food involved. I can't have you over there eating like a 2-year old. That's not going to work for me. Yes, keeping the lines of communication open and letting your daughter know that you can be trusted with her secrets, her confidences. This is important. This is very important. It's very, very important. And respect her boundaries too. Now that becomes a whole nother story. Okay, now this is interesting here. This becomes very important as far as modeling uh, behavior. It's very important as a father, whether you are married to the woman, whether you're divorced from the woman, or whether you a baby daddy and ain't never been married to the woman. This is what is coming next is very important. You need to let your daughter see you treat her mother well. Treat her mother with respect. You don't say that bitch, this and that, or you call the woman names. You get the daughter for your weekend, and all you do is rant and rave about her mama. You know how she ain't shit. Your daughter hears you telling other people how her mother ain't shit, how you can't stand that hoe, all this old kind of stuff. You treat her crazy. You don't give her the money. You don't show up with the money when you promised her that you would. So it puts her in a financial bind with the kids that your kids she's trying to take care of. You don't want your daughter to see it. You want her to see you treat her mother well with kindness. Okay. And when it's Mother's Day and stuff, you pick up your kid and you take your child to buy her mama a Mother's Day present. Okay, that's what you do because that helps your daughter see that even though you and her mother don't get along, you know her mother's important to her. So you're going to support her in that relationship by showing kindness and consideration to her mother because she loves her mother and she doesn't need to see any stress and strife and ghetto shit going on between you and her mama. Okay, when it's her mother's birthday, what you go pick up your daughter and you say it's your mama's birthday, and we gonna get the kid a cake and we gonna get your mama a present, we gonna get your mama a card. Okay, and that's what you do because that's your mother. That's how you need to treat her. And then it really wouldn't be a bad idea if you got her mother card too. It doesn't have to be mushy. And you could thank her for being a great mom or something. You know what I mean? Just be a nice guy. Be something that your daughter can grow up with and say, well, my parents weren't together, but my father always treated my mother with such respect and kindness. It really made me happy to see them treat each other so well. Oh, you see what I'm saying? This is important to your daughter. This is important to your son as well, but it's really important to your daughter that she sees that. If you two are married, then it's important that you let your daughter see you hug and kiss your wife. Talk about her good traits. Pump her up to people. Let your daughter see this. Tell your daughter, your mama fine, right? Did you know that your mama's fine? Yep, I got me a good one. Say shit like that to your daughter. Your mother's the best mama ever. She makes the best banana pudding that I have ever tasted in my life. Say shit like that to your daughter about your mother, about her mother, your wife. Tell your daughter how much you love her mother, stuff like that. Show her that what a positive relationship is between a man and a woman. She needs to see that, and you're the one who modeled that for her. Consistency. This is the number one problem that men have. Y'all are some inconsistent motherfuckers. You just say one thing and do another, or you half do shit. You it's undependable. It's so immature. You need to be steady and you need to be calm and you need to be the same. You need to be something that your daughter can depend on to be the same. And this was very important. Like when I got to be a teenager, I knew my parents. Them were the two most consistent motherfuckers you've ever met in your life. I mean, you could go to your grave knowing what they was gonna say to certain questions, and most of the time the answer was no. You ain't doing that. You ain't going there. And who the fuck is that person? No. Okay, they was good at saying no, no, hell no. That's why I learned how to say no so well from modeling them too. Okay, so you need to be modeling consistent loving, consistent support, consistent behavior checking. Okay, so you don't let them get away with something one time and then the next time you down on them with both feet. No, you're consistent. Okay, your expectations of them are consistent. You don't come in here with a D and think you gonna still get your phone and your your game console and all that. Oh no, 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 those are coming with me until them grades come up. That kind of thing. Be consistent. You tell them you're gonna do something, do it. You tell them they're gonna get a certain punishment for being, doing something they're not supposed to do. Do it. Follow through. That's what I mean. You got to be consistent. And my parents, used to save me because people would ask me to do stuff I didn't really want to do. But you got to put on that act at school like, yeah, my parents won't let me do shit. So you got to act like you want to do it, and then so that the parents will take the hit instead of it making it seem like you are just a wimp and all this stuff. It's a game, but you got to play because they know how high school social structure is. So I bring my little friends home and I say, well, you asked because I already knew what my daddy was gonna say, right? I know this man. How long I've been living with this man? So he's, oh, hi, little, whoever, and how you doing? How your mama doing? All this old stuff. Well, we wanted to know if Deb could come with us to do this and that and blah blah blah. And my daddy would say, what? And then the little person would say whatever it was, some party, something. And my dad said, "Oh no, Deb ain't going to that. That Deb already knew she wasn't going to that. What you asked me that for? Did you put him up to it?" I say no. I told him you said no, and they would be like, "Yeah, she said you was going, but I thought I would ask anyway." My dad like, "Hell no, she ain't going. Bye." And then he kicked the person out. And so then they would go to school the next day. I even went to her house and I asked her daddy, and he said, hell no, she wasn't going. So I said, they were like, you can't go. I said, no. And I could look appropriately sad, but actually, I was relieved. I didn't want to go anyway. You know, your dad used to say great things about your mother. Oh, that's great. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what you want. A man who shows you that he can love a woman. If you see that model for you, what little girl is going to accept less than a man who treats her the way her daddy treated her mama? You know? It's very important. All right, so that consistency. You want to be a rock that your child can depend on, sir. Okay, don't be a flaky, little inconsistent idiot all over the place. Okay, do you want to provide your daughter with encouragement? Um, your words of encouragement to her dreams, to her aspirations, to her accomplishments, to reach next level heights. Okay, she did great at this one thing, but there's another level here. You encourage her to reach for the stars. You show her that you got her back and you will help her in any way possible that you can to make her dreams come true. If she starts wavering, well, daddy, I don't know if I could do it. Sure you can do it, girl. Sure you can do it. You got this. You know what you need from me to do. What you need me to do to help you. I want you to be successful. I want you to succeed at this. I got your back, baby girl. We're gonna do this together. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. You encourage her sometimes when she's feeling weak or sad or confused or like a little shaky in her little confidence. Because little girls are gonna go through that, especially when they hit them teens and they start getting it from all sides. That's when a dad becomes really important. You need to be the one that's providing that stability and who's providing that encouragement. Okay, so she's gonna need that. She needs to feel that she's good enough, that she's good enough to not only be where she is, but that she can be even greater later. That's what you want to be. And I used to like to watch Serena and Venus's daddy. He was good at that. Of supporting them and encouraging them to go to the next level, to be better than they are today. He's really excellent and very protective of them. You see how he chewed into that white newscaster, kept wanting to ask the same question over. This interview is over. She already told you, we're not talking about that. And he got his daughter up and walked her the fuck up out of there. See? I like that shit. So, in conclusion, I mean, there was going to be a lot more to this, but since I was in the dark last night, and then I didn't really get to finish the stuff before the showtime, and then I was still in the dark, and it was just all kinds of fucked up yesterday. So, I'll probably think of some more things later that maybe I'll add to an article on surviving dating, and I'll let you guys know. But in conclusion to this, I think what fathers need to understand and what daughters need to understand as well is as women, we go through life measuring every man that we interact with against our father. He's like the gold standard or the mud standard for men in our lives. And if the bar is set really low because your daddy was an ain't shit motherfucker, then you're going to be dealing with dudes who are like the dregs of society. You're going to be dealing with the ex-cons, the bisexuals who don't know which end they want it, which end is up, if they like men or women. You're going to be going through all kind of changes to try to earn their love and do for them and take care of them and involve yourself in struggle love relationships because you don't feel worthy of having a man's love because your daddy didn't love you. And I'm telling you, ladies, you got to try to work hard to get past that. You're never going to replace your dad. That ship has sailed. What you can do now is make you a better you from today forward. Okay, that's gone. That's the past. You can't change the past. There's nothing you can do about that but come to terms with it. What you can do is understand why you did the things that you did, why you have the attitudes that you had, where those things came from, how they're hurting you, how it's keeping you from being the best person that you can be and living your best life. You got to understand that about yourself. And then go from where you are right now and start living better starting tomorrow. Okay? Your dad could have done, helped you not have to go through all of this. This is going to be hard work for a lot of you. There will probably be a lot of tears shed as deal with the hurts and the abandonment and the feelings of rejection that you had to suffer from that knucklehead that was your sperm donor. But I'm hopeful that once that happens, you can stand up and say, okay, okay, that's that. What we gonna do now? And then start living a different life, not focusing on what you missed from him, but who you are and what you've accomplished by yourself and with the help of your friends or other family that was there to support you. It ain't all about him. I mean, he could have played a good role, but sometimes, we don't really appreciate the other people that stepped in to provide for us in his absence. So sometimes, just take a look around. Was it your granny, some of your aunts, your uncles, a neighbor, a teacher? Other people have contributed to help make you a whole and happy person and a better person. So appreciate what they brought into your life. Yeah, he could have done better, but he didn't. So fuck him. And just talk about what you did get that was good and what you can take and into your life and move forward, as well as what you can add to yourself as you go forward. Okay, that's very important. Um, I think that, like I was saying earlier, a lot of these guys don't understand that. Um, you your role as a dad, the impact that you leaving on your daughters, motherfucker, this is your legacy. This is it. And you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're not leaving anything that makes any sense with your daughters. You just stupid. I just can't stand these men. And it's like you just think about the long term ramifications of how you treat your little girl. It's great that you love her so when she's little, but she needs you even more as she matures because you got to be the protector from them vile creatures that's going to be coming at her when she's 12 and 13 and 14 years old. You need to be there. Okay, you need to be there. Even if you ain't with her mother, you need to be there for her. And that's what I'm trying to get these dudes. They can't seem to separate their relationship from the child's mother with the relationship with the child, but your daughter needs you. And you need to be there for her. And if you have not talked to your daughter, please pick up the phone this weekend and reach out to her and tell her that you're going to try to do better and ask her what she needs from you and try to plan some time for the two of you to get together. Take her little ass to lunch or something. Do something with yourself. Stop running scared talking what the mama won't let you do. You trifling piece of shit. Get your shit together and handle your business with your girls. Help your girls become the best women that they can be so you leave behind a legacy with her and your grandchildren that makes some fucking sense. This is just retarded. I'm just like, yeah, they're idiots. It's just retarded. Just doesn't make no damn sense. It's like they're not thinking about nothing. This is why black America is so fucked up now because niggas don't be thinking. They just be going through life all on the emotional tip and then getting mad at women wanting to kill them and all this old shit. You're fucking up your daughters and your sons for life with them moves. This makes no damn sense. And as parents, you got these are your sons, right? These were the sons that these people raised. You need to be on your sons' asses when you see they have these kind of attitudes and behaviors. You don't just let them go out into the world willy nilly. That means you were poor. You were a poor parent when they was young. Well, you got time to fix it. You better start talking to them now. They in their teens and 20s acting stupid. Put your foot up their ass. I'm like, I wish I did have a son so I could just beat his ass if he acted like that. Part two. You need a part two. Everybody would have to be doing their homework, and we would come talking about what you learned from this. See, I know this is tough. I'm a good one for just throwing lugs and then dipping out. I know that, and I know this is hard. I know this is hard. I know this is a challenge for you, ladies. I understand that. But I've seen too much. It's just been going on too much. It's too many broken women behind their daddies. And or whether the daddy was there and stupid, or whether the daddy was not there at all, in which cases sometimes I think that was actually the best, rather than him being there and being abusive in one way or another. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Chase the tail, making more babies, and they ain't even taking and raising the ones they already got. Just stupid. But a lot of times nobody talks to men like this. Nobody tells them this kind of stuff. They don't really go into the fine nuances of the ramifications of being a poor father, and how this has long-term impact on the current and future generations of your family. You can change that shit starting today. It takes work, and it takes a concerted effort and focus from you as a man, but it can be done. You have to just make sure that that's really what you want to do and put forth some effort into it. All right. But this weekend, we won't get back on this. I'm thinking I need to address. I'm piled up with advice questions, so I might do some more advice questions this weekend, because I'm getting really, really behind. I mean, it's not enough just to do them on Tuesday. Every couple of weeks, I have to do like a weekend too to kind of catch up. But I'm looking at doing that probably tomorrow or Sunday. But you guys, become a subscriber. Make sure you're a subscriber. Make sure you hit that bell symbol after you subscribe, so that you get an instant notification on your phone once I book a show or go live. Because, I'm known to do a pop up. I'll just decide, oh, I have something to talk about, and then I launch up my stuff and then start talking. So, you know, that's what's up. And then I'll be putting up, thanks to my Patreon subscribers, I got a second monitor. So now I'll be able to monitor what's going on YouTube and Twitch on one screen, and monitor my chat and the software on the other one. It's going crazy around here. So you guys, every time you make a donation and stuff, I use it to better the show. I use it to, to buy equipment, to upgrade my computer, to do something that's going to make this production better. And so, I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate everybody's encouragement. I heard about you guys being here yesterday, being worried about me. Thank you. That was so sweet. It's like really. One of my friends told me, "Girl, they was in there waiting for you," and I'm like, "Girl, I was sitting in the dark. I couldn't even call nobody because my phone was dead, and I don't have a car charger because I have a rental car, so I don't have one that'll work in it." And so I was like, "Oh, this is a nightmare." But I'll try to make it up to you guys, like I said, this weekend. So make sure, if you are not one of my subscribers, you're new to this channel, please become a subscriber, because we get together at off times whenever I just feel in the mood. It's not always scheduled like, a live stream like tonight. But thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. And I will see you this weekend. This is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com, closing out a conversation on dads and daughters. This was a tough one for a lot of people. I hope to, if you have some questions about it, you want some more help, please just put them in the show, the comment section below, and I will do my best to respond to you as soon as possible. All right, I'll talk to you guys this weekend. Bye bye.